Never thought I'd be saying this, but this honestly might be the best Marvel film ever. Not just in the MCU, but ever. What's going on, everyone? I got a brand new movie review for you guys today, and today I'm going to be discussing Spider-Man Far From Home. And before we get any further into this, do not worry, this will be a non-spoiler review for this film. I won't be diving into any of the spoilers. This will be mostly just a geeky reaction to the whole entire movie and how this movie made me feel in the moments and the big smile that this film brought me. But I do have to say this, if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, there might be some spoilers tidying in from that film just because this film picks up exactly after Endgame, and there are a couple things that you must talk about to understand where this film is placed at. So, if you've seen Endgame, you're safe. The film picks up exactly right after Endgame, after this post-snapped world had happened. Of course, it's been 5 years since they had all been dusted. They're all back now, living their lives. Some people in their grades are a little bit older, and there's a lot of nice knitted humor throughout this whole entire movie that really played. That's kind of one of the big things I have to start with, is the way that they played around this post-snap world. It's tragic, but also there's a lot of humor knitted throughout it, and the way that they bring about people, there are a lot of great funny, hilarious moments, but also a lot of small, subtle moments that bring a lot of tragicness to it. Of course, taking place 5 years later, and without a Tony Stark in this world now, who's going to fill that mantle? It's looking to be Spider-Man, and Peter Parker's in that weird path where I think this is one of the best directions that they've taken with the character, where one part of him wants to just be this normal high school kid, and the other part of him wants to be the hero that he knows he should be. Thematics that they place within this film are some of the strongest that they've ever created for a Spider-Man film, or in general, a lot of the Marvel films. In fact, I'm going to actually say this, and this is something that's going to come off wrong to a lot of you guys, but it's actually worked way better in this film. How Iron Man 3 took such a risky storytelling device, and I know I'm mentioning Iron Man 3 and a lot of you guys probably just tuned out, but the way that this film has such that same risky storytelling device, but also is just more layered out, and for comic book fans, I think they'll more appreciate what they did with this, and even in general, the normal movie-going audience, I think the way that they play out this film is just insane. But one thing I want to say, though, is that when this film started, I saw a bunch of tweets beforehand saying this is the best Spider-Man film ever, it's one of the most unique films ever, and I went in this film thinking, that's a lot of high praise. That's a lot of high praise. I sat down, started watching, I'm like, this is a good movie. This is a really good movie. And then all of a sudden, something happens probably a little bit midway through the film, and my jaw hit the floor. The pedal hit the gas, and it never let go. Went through all of the action sequences in here, of which are not just innovative, creative, and some of the most unique things any superhero comic book film has ever done. Also brings about the one thing I think a lot of people were missing from Spider-Man Homecoming, and that is the web slinging. There are so much web slinging in here. Layer out some of the best set pieces ever known to man, to not just a Spider-Man film, but in general to comic book films alike. It's not just because of those innovative action set pieces that really bring about so much greatness to this film. In fact, it's a lot of the performances. And in fact, it's also the story in this film. I mentioned it early in the review how I said that the thematics of what Peter Parker has to go through are at times tragic and emotional. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up during this movie. I actually cried. Some of it was nerd tears, but a lot of it was actually emotional because of how much attachment I have to Peter Parker. Maybe that's some of it because I do see myself within this version of Peter Parker. I believe like that is me. I am literally seeing myself on the screen. But it's the themes that he goes through and the tragicness that he also goes through with the loss that he just had in Avengers Endgame, and now where he has to go further down his life in the past that he must take, and also balancing out high school life. That's something that we did not get in any of the other Spider-Man films yet. We've seen small tidbits of it, but this film actually plays around with that idea so much, and the relationship between him and MJ, which I was very skeptical on, but now I'm totally sold on, is one of the major parts of that, because we've all had that one big crush that we have that we're just super awkward about, and this film plays on that, where it brings that relatability, where you see yourself, you're like, that was me in high school, and it's just so adorable, so cute, and Tom Holland and Zendaya's chemistry is off the charts excellent, which goes to me. Both of them give the best performance that they've probably given in a while. Zendaya is incredible in Euphoria if you're not watching that show, but she's great in here. Tom Holland this is the best performance he's given as Spider-Man yet. He's just getting better and better and better, and this kid is so talented. I was one of the defenders of him because I saw The Impossible and I knew that kid could act, and I'm so happy he is Spider-Man. I don't even know. I want this iteration of Spider-Man for life now. This guy is great, and there's so much potential you can do with such a younger actor. Talking about potential, you cast Jake Gyllenhaal in a Marvel film. You bring in one of the best actors working today to play Mysterio, Quentin Beck. You got me sold all types right there. Now, Quentin Beck, Mysterio, if you guys do not know me, that is my favorite comic book villain ever. I've been wanting a live action version of him, and the fact that they even did the fishbowl is just insane to me, but I love Mysterio, and when they casted Jake Gyllenhaal, I freaked out just a little bit, and it really works to all memorable moments. Jake Gyllenhaal is an incredible new character added into the MCU world. He doesn't just add a lot of depth to his character, but he brings a lot of gravitas to this role. And I know, again, we all know Jake Gyllenhaal is an incredible actor, but he seriously brought something so special to Mysterio that for once, I didn't go, hey, that's Jake Gyllenhaal. No, I went and said, that's Quentin Beck. That's awesome. Stuff that they do with Mysterio in this is, again, something that I was not expecting, and something that truly, as a big Spider-Man fan, as a big Mysterio fan, had him again, my jaw on the floor. Before we get to my final thoughts, guys, make sure that I like and subscribe button if you guys are enjoying this review. I do tons of early movie reviews like this. And you guys can also go over to Sam Sean Films to check out how you guys can potentially see films early like this one. Spider-Man Far From Home is not just my favorite Spider-Man film, which is crazy after Spider-Verse had just come out. I am truly blown away by this movie. I turned to my friend who truly isn't the biggest Spider-Man fan, but loves Marvel, and he turns to me back and says, before I could say anything, he goes, that is my favorite Marvel film of all time. And I go, yep, I totally agree. Guardians of the Galaxy has not been defeated in a while, and I'm going to go back and rewatch it before I do my ranking, but Spider-Man Far From Home blew me away in every sort of way. This features one of the best scores in a Marvel film. It's so memorable and just gets you into the vibes. And there's a couple sequences between Peter Parker and Quentin Beck, that these discussions that they have that are just so thought-provoking, but so relatable. And it just really oozes you into the emotional depth that this film carries you in. And plus, the end credit scenes are something else. I feel on total cloud 9 when it comes to this movie. As a big Spider-Man fan, as a big Marvel fan, as a big comic book fan, I was not ready for this movie, and I am so over the moon about this movie. I cannot wait to see this movie again. I cannot wait to dive deeper into spoilers with you guys when I do my spoiler review later next week. I am truly floored by how great Spider-Man Far From Home is. Watts did an excellent job directing this film. He totally has a wrap around this character. Homecoming got us into the feel of this new Spider-Man film, and I really like Homecoming, but this film is to another level. This is truly an incredible superhero film, and Marvel, I hate to say this, just especially after Endgame, but they have outdone themselves with this epilogue to the whole Infinity War saga. So with all that said, I'm going to give Spider-Man Far From Home an A+. Crazy, because again, when this film started, I was like, this is a really good movie, and then just something happened, and it just clicked, and my jaw was on the floor the whole entire time. That's the best way to describe this movie. Let me know down below, guys, what your guys' thoughts are. Are you guys excited for this movie? Are you not? Are you more hyped now? I hope you guys are. Thank you guys again so much for watching this. Hit that like and subscribe button for all sorts of early movie reviews like this, and you guys can definitely go over to Sam Sean Films on how you guys can check out films early. Thank you guys again so much for watching this video, and until next time, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can.